Hey, what's up, my jelly beans, my starbursts, my lovely candies of the world? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, peoples of the internet, welcome to my art channel. I'm Megan Kerstetter, and today I'm going to be doing an illustration of a cyborg fairy. You can see I started off with a really rough sketch. I've noticed that lately, if I start off with a really rough sketch before actually going into a second rough sketch, because work general to specific, just really general to specific. Anyway, where was I going with this? Anyway, it just is easier for me to make these videos sometimes if I already have an idea of what I'm doing. So that's why this video didn't start off with a blank canvas or anything. I will probably still do some videos like that, but others I think I'm going to start off with some rough sketches. Anyway, things that inspired this image. Let's be honest, Sailor Moon, has affected my entire life. And anything that has to do with moons and space or magical girls, and I just feel like always comes back to her. So anyway, that is why this is how this image was born or something, because I'm still obsessed with Sailor Moon, I guess. And I like fairies. So yeah, I wanted to do something different with this character. I wanted to give her kind of like these cool dreadlocks, or what do you want, like her hair is almost made of cables to go with that whole cyborg aesthetic. And then I thought she would look really cute with pigtails. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's totally Sailor Moon has influenced me. Anyway, then what else about this image? Let's see. I totally have lost my train of thought. Thank you for staying on this channel, guys. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, I just wanted to draw a cute fairy girl, and I wanted to work on something that had a little bit of anatomy involved in it, although this is it's not really great anatomy. It's highly stylized, obviously, and then it's not actual real muscles. It's her cyborg metal arms. So yeah, but I did use a reference, it'll pop up here soon, that I made in a program called Poser, or Poser Debut, because I'm cheap. I don't have the actual Poser. If you know what that is, it's a I'll explain what it is. It's a program where you can pose 3D models and light them, and do all sorts of stuff to set up for illustrations or practice animation, I think. I don't know a whole ton about it because I don't actually I don't use it all the time. I usually now I use Clip Studio Paint's 3D models, or I'll use Blender, and I'll use the Manual Bastoni Lab. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, I had a reference where it had all these muscles and stuff actually showing through the model or whatever. The model was the muscle structure of the body. When it comes up, it'll make more sense. Anyway, I wanted to use that reference to actually put some stuff in the image, and that's how her cyborg arms came into be, and legs. So yeah, she reminds me of like a fairy version of the Teen Titan Cyborg, maybe. I don't know, but cooler? No offense to Cyborg fans. I just think she's definitely cuter. I don't know. Some people might fight me. Don't attack me if you're a Cyborg fan. Anyway, yeah. So I used my rough ink brush again. I really like using that brush. It's really forgiving. I feel like when I do line work with it, I don't have to worry so much about having a perfect, smooth edge or anything because it's rough and it's got like that toothy feel of a sketch pad. So yeah, let's see, some other stuff I did in here. You saw that green brush thing that came up. That's actually a line resizing tool in Clip Studio Paint. It comes in a lot of handy when I want to change the thickness of my line work. And oh, there's the model. Yay! I'm so happy. Now you guys finally get it. It's not really pretty to look at or anything. Actually, it's quite hideous. But yeah, it ended up inspiring me to do this sort of anatomy-based, prosthetic-y kind of character. Yes. So to sell this robotic world or sort of thing, I ended up making toadstools that functioned as lights, and they're actually made of metal. So, because fairies and toadstools, those things like go together. At least they do for me. And yeah, from there I started to work on color. You can see I have all my flats down. I separate my backgrounds and my characters just to make sure that it's easier to shade things and keep track of things. Even though it ends up usually making a lot of layers, I'm kind of partial to that. I like having a lot of control over my images, and if I have to have a lot of layers, well, so be it. Something I did try to do different in this image is light her up from the bottom. Use a light source that was going from below the character and up. So that's pretty different than what I usually do. Usually I just do it off to the side, but I wanted to kind of have this be, I wanted her to look mysterious and to exercise my right to draw differently, I guess. Although there's a couple of light sources here, and in the end I was not entirely sure what I was doing, but it still came out nice and I still like it. I also wanted to make the metal of her body look kind of shiny and stuff like that, or like you could almost see into it. So she's almost looks like she's made of glass as opposed to metal, but hey, practice. That's all I can say. And yeah, after I put down my cell shading, I go in with a soft airbrush to kind of make transitions and stuff or make certain things glow. As you can see, I don't always go in a specific order. It's whatever I feel like at the time. Although maybe I should have more of a standard workflow. But usually after I leave an image, I'll notice things that I want to change. So I don't sit down and do these images all at once. It takes me a couple of days. And when I come back to them, I'll notice, hey, I should probably add more light here, or I should add more shadow there. And that's kind of what happened to the pipes in the background. I noticed they were too light in some places. It didn't really give the, I'm going to say this word wrong, ambiance that I was looking for. Oh yeah, and then I'm trying to keep up with with the images it's going. I put a texture on here. This is one of my favorite textures. You'll notice I grabbed it from a comic page that I had made in the past. Yeah, it's just really kind of crackly and scratchy, and I just really like that sort of thing. And it sort of goes with the image in a way. Not really. I just really like the texture. I actually should make more textures, and if I do, I will try to make a video on that in the future. Oh yeah, I must have lost it and had to reopen the file. Anyway, you can see I put some highlights on the metal pipes, and then I actually thought I had finished this piece, but then I realized I forgot to draw her fairy wings, and I fought with myself about adding them or just not you know, just being like, no, it's fine. But in the end, it bothered me enough that I felt like I really needed to put them in. So this is why it's so nice to keep your background and your characters separated, because I could just go in between those layers and put some fairy wings in. I noticed that I got kind of impatient with stuff, and that's part of the reason why I ended up having to use a transform tool a lot, just to get things back to, or get things to look more in perspective, or just not weird. I'll admit I use the transform tool a lot when I'm working digitally, but I like to use it more when I'm still in the sketch stages, as opposed to the final stages of like color and ink. But hey, you know, you do what you gotta do to make an image work. There's no wrong way to make an artwork. Don't sue me, Reese's, please. Anyway, that's the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for being here, and for all the for all the support you've shown me on YouTube. Thank you to the subscribers who have still stuck around even after all this time. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Oh yeah, and you're awesome. Don't forget it. Bye.